viewers, it's time for the route introduction for San Bernardino. So let's get into it. It has free roam mode, training modules. We have the usual route introduction. We have scenarios 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we have a look at them. Raceway is running a late running Metrolink race day service from San Bernardino to the Speedway before the shuttle bus leaves. So you've got a bit of a time crunch there. Depot days. Prepare a train in the depot before bringing it into service. This one I think is a cold start from memory. Eye of the Storm. Rise and shine. It's the start of a new day. However, last night's storm may have caused some damage to nearby infrastructure. Keep an eye out while completing your journey. So it's some things to challenge you on your way that you'll need to deal with. Rescue at the Ranch. A service has developed a fault near Rancho Cucamonga. That is the strangest name. And is now stranded. Head up the line and bring the train back into the depot for repair. Graduation Day. It's graduation day. Operate a service to the university to collect and drop off students. Alrighty, that's the scenarios. Now, service-wise, I do have Cajon Pass installed. There are two timetables, weekday and weekend. So let's have a look at weekday, which has services for the ES44C4, BNSF SD42, and the SD70ACE, all from Cajon Pass. We also have from this route the EMD F125 Metrolink, MP36PH3C ML, and the Rotem bi-level cab car. So if you've got the standard edition, you will have Rotem bi-level, Metrolink, and EMP36. If you have Deluxe Edition, or you already had Cajon Pass, or you've bought Cajon Pass separately, you will also have the freight locomotives and freight services. So let's start with the cab car and have a look at the services that are available. So there are 91 services available for this thing. Let's have a quick look. So they range 50 minutes, hour and a half, 50 minutes. There's a few short ones for depot moves and the like. So it looks like the bulk of them are the 50 odd minutes to hour and a half type. And there's, as you get through the day, there's a few more of the shorter things to play, which is cool. So there's a fairly good range there. And it looks like the cab car goes in both directions too, which is nice. Let's have a look at the MP36. There are 91 services for this as well. They are a different set of services because you'll notice I've got more medals here. There's quite a lot of short ones, and there's half-hour ones, almost a 2-hour one there, hour, 2-hour. So there's a pretty good selection here as well of various gameplay services. And it does also appear to go in both directions. It's mostly going from LA Union to San Bernardino, but I have seen a few San Bernardino services that are just moving around San Bernardino itself or heading back. So that's cool. And the EMD Metrolink, there's 132 services for this. We'll pick the San Bernardino one. And there's a whole bunch here. So if you do have Antelope Valley, you'll see more services in LA Union and along the line just before they diverge, but that's about it. And that's all AI services, of course. So half hour, 2-hour, bunch of short ones. So it's about the same sort of mixture. So that's a pretty good gameplay mix there. Let's go back again. And again, you need Cajon Pass for these. The SD70ACE, there's 121 services. Now, these are all pretty short. Now, the cool thing is they tend to hop from one to another. So as you finish one service, they don't all do it, but a lot of them, as you finish one service, when it goes out to the finishing screen, have a look at your medals, see whatever you got, continue, and go into free roam, because you'll be sitting in the same locomotive for the next service, and they all dovetail together, and you'll be able to get a day of gameplay out of these things. So that's that one. Now the SD42, I didn't see how many there were there. Let's just flip back there a minute. There's 88 for the SD42, and they are mostly short ones. And again, most of these dovetail together, so you can actually build a day of gameplay out of here. I haven't run any of them in this build, but in previous builds I've actually done the whole lot, and I think it took me about 9 hours, something like that, so it was kind of cool. I don't know why I sat down and did them all, but I did. Similar for the ES44, and similarly, I didn't look at the number, 155. So there's a good selection of half hour and shorter. Did you see it says 155, but there's not actually that many here, is there? Maybe it's 155 freight services all up, plus AIs. That's quite possible, I think. It's a little bit wrong. I'll put the word back in about that. All right, so that's the introduction for that part. Now, journeys, we have to pop out the... Oh, hang on. Weekend. I forgot about weekend. Oh, this is where the other services are. Silly monkey. So there's more services for each of the locomotives on the weekend timetable. In the weekend, there's a lot more freight. So, yes, this is a more extensive list. So it's the 155s across both timetables. And some of them would be shared with these different locomotives as well. So again, there's a good selection of on the weekend, and there is a lot more freight on the weekend. So enjoy that. Now, journey-wise, if we pop back here, there's a little bit less passenger on the weekend as well. Let's come back to the main menu and go into journeys and San Bernardino. There's Metrolink Master for your journey, and we have College Degree, which has got the introduction in it. A modern twist, and you'll note they're not locked. You can just play them in whatever order you want. There's the F125 introduction. Heading downtown, there's a couple of nearly 1 hour services and a scenario. Commuting to work, there's the Rotom cab car introduction to go back the other way. Top of the class, another hour and a bit, couple of hours. Excellence in engineering. There's 2 scenarios and 4 services in this one. And California Caper, looks like 1 scenario and 4 services again. So I think that's a fairly good mix for a journey because it's quite achievable. It looks like something you could probably finish in a week or so if you really wanted to. So that's a good thing. And as far as I know, they are all completable. So that's good on this route. Now, in a moment, we'll get onto the collectibles. And I'll just go and find some stations where I haven't collected them so I can show you what they all are. And we'll be right back in a moment. Right, we're just here at Pomona. And we're going to have a look at the various route collectibles or route tasks that are available. Just going to wander down here next to the train. Of course, we're going to do that safely. Here's the first one here. This thing that looks remarkably like a device. And you stand that up, and it says buried fiber optic cable. There you go. There's a little battens or stakes that you have to find. Now, the other one of these signs, you'll find these around the place where they've been knocked over by some miscreant. So you've got to stand them up again to help prevent the trespassers from doing what we just did. So that's 2 of them. We've got the stakes or battens and the signs. There are, of course, the usual route maps, and I think there's one of those along here somewhere. The little battens can be a little bit tough to find. Oh, there's a route map over there. We'll go and collect that. Now, you're looking for cabinets like this one as well, and they're a bit annoying because some of them are activatable and some of them aren't. And that one's not. So let's just pop over here, over to pedestrian crossing. There's a big rivet. And pop up here, let's collect the route map. So that's the standard sort of route map that we normally have. And there's one last collectible, and I did find one up here. Now, these are often outside the stations, and they can be a little bit tough to locate. Some of them are in stations. They're very rarely in the public spaces, so they're in the kind of spaces the public just wouldn't go. And we'll just run across here without looking because we're really brave. Is it stupid? Maybe it's stupid. All right, a little bit of an invisible wall to get around there, and you're looking for this sort of cabinet. So if they've got the sign, then you can open them up and you'll see it's got a yellow flashing light and a red. If you get in nice and close to it, there's an activation point on them somewhere to no, not the door. Well, I'm looking rather foolish at the moment. There we go. So just up on the top left hand corner there was an activation point, and it stops beeping at you and it's ready to go. So you can shut the door, Alright, that's it for the collectibles on this line, so why don't we have a quick look at the pause menu and let's look at the route map now. So we do have what is basically a very long and majority single track line. So you don't see a lot of action when you're out and about, but you will pass other trains. You will see Antelope Valley traffic down here at LA Union. So the Antelope Valley line branches off and heads up that way. You'll also see a bit of freight traffic around here as we go through the freight yard. But once you're coming over here and you're coming through Cal State and coming in through El Monte, it's all quite single line. Some of these do branch out into double lines, so there's passing points where you will see other trains coming the other way. And we, of course, out here at Claremont. And if we scroll along, you'll see that we get out here. Once you get out to Rancho Cucamonga and Speedway, you'll start to see freight. There are some yards along there and around Fontana. A friend of mine lives in Fontana. I think he's gonna be quite chuffed about this route. Americans don't get chuffed though, do they? They'll run it up the flagpole and get excited. And then around San Bernadino Depot, that's next to a great big freight yard, so it runs kind of the whole length of this thing. And San Bernardino downtown, that's just the ending point station, so not much goes on down there. It's a bit of a dead-end station. Alrighty, that's about it for this part of the route. Now, I've already shown you all of the trains that you get and all of the locomotives. The other thing that's of interest is this route now has quite large trucks, and it has cars that drive through concrete, which is really clever. Sometimes I look at something and I go, what's going on there? And we can really annoy the cars, and we can actually hold them here until trains come and hit them, which is always kind of fun. But we won't do that, because it's just not that mean. Now, the route does... Ooh, look, there's another one of those little fibre optic things. There we go. The route does have a lot of bespoke assets. So there's this thing which represents a train lantern. There's lots of build, which is very specific to the route. So if you have a look at the real photos of these stations, you will find that these are remarkably similar. Like, a lot of effort's gone into this. A lot of effort's also gone into the distant skylines. And the buildings are just really cool. And one of my favourite features is, of course, the Claremont clock. Now, I have actually been here, so I certainly recognise the station. It pretty much matches my recollection of the place, and it's pretty close to my photos as well. Now, you'll also see a lot of new passenger behaviours. So we've got new bags, like this one. We've seen the backpacks before. Let's see if I can find someone on the phone, because you often spot people who are either taking selfies or they are chatting. And one of these people are. It's kind of sad. Let's see if we can find someone on the other side. After several days of tutorials, my voices are getting dry. We have got coffee people. Looking for a phone person, though. They're pretty unusual, so you don't see a lot of them, but you do see the occasional one. Beginning to look like we're not going to see any in this particular crowd. G'day, how you doing? I swear sometimes they turn and look at you. NPCs. Looks like we're out of luck for the phone and selfie people on this particular station. Just have a quick run up here and just see what we see. Maybe we'll get lucky. Ooh, hang on. There's one who's texting. He's just whipped his phone out. Saw him. Hopefully he doesn't put it away before we get there, because they do. There you go. This bloke's on YouTube Shorts maybe, or TikTok, or texting someone. So that's a new behaviour that we're seeing in this route. People having a chat. So this is new. They just spontaneously break into chat, which is cool. No one talking on the phone though, but then again, hardly anybody does talk on the phone these days. There's another one texting people. Oh, that'll about cover it anyway. It's a pretty good mix of freight and passenger services. The freight services do hop from service to service, so as you complete each one, do E for continue, or whatever it is on your controller to continue, and drop into the next service, because if you, and just choose return to free roam, and you'll drop straight into the next service and you can just start playing it straight away. So it's really cool. Not all the freight services do that, but a lot of them do. Now, there's a couple of other things to show you. If we go along the line to San Bernardino, as an Aussie we'd call it Boonadino, because, you know, we're like that. Which is kind of annoying, really. We should be nearly there. Where are we here? Is this where we are? Rancho Cucamonga. So you can see a bit of the yard trackage here. Of course, we've got the new maps with signage, as long as you zoom in close enough. I would rather it was about this level, personally. Where are we here? Not there yet. At San Bernardino, which might be there, actually. Alright, Speedway. We're nearly there. Speedway's where there's the big racetrack. So we're pretty close now. So that'll be Fontana. And coming up here should be... what's this one? Rialto. We're close. This looks promising. Coming into the giant yard. And we've got the passenger station. Here we have San Bernardino. So let's fast travel here. So we'll just click this and go, yep, I want to go to San Bernardino. I've had some interesting experiences with this because occasionally I've materialized inside an NPC, which is vaguely amusing when it happens. So sitting here, you've got one of these new things with a witch's hat on top. And thanks, passengers. It's the sorting hat. So we'll just go into the visit. She just winked at me. I don't do that before. And we're just going to go hop. Because what's going to happen is we're going to choose Cajon Pass, San Bernardino Station, go. We're now going to change routes without having to go out to the main menu. It's still a little bit of an immersion buster because you do get the loading screens. And that's... so consoles don't catch fire, I would expect. And here we are, out here, we're on the Cajon Pass route. We're in the same station. It did move us physically in space because we jumped in up there and we've come down here. And you could now go and jump on a freight train if you wanted to. Now, what I haven't seen in Cajon Pass, and I kind of wished they'd done it, given that it was re-released for this one, it would have been so cool to see the San Bernardino trains. But, no, we don't get that. So, hopping back to San Bernardino. If there's multiple places, you can choose them. And we're going on weekend. On some of the places that you can get to, you will have multiple options. So if you're on the West Coast Main Line, for example, at some of the stations you can jump to multiple other routes because they converge there. So let's pop back into San Bernardino. The other thing I wanted to show you, I'm not sure if we'll see any around here. Let's fast travel to Cal State, I think. Let's just do that. Let's just pop out to the map. Way down here somewhere. I think that's it there. I think that'll be Cal State. Yes, it is. Let's go to Cal State because there's a lot of new murals and things like that, and working elevators. I need to show you the elevators because they're a bit wonky. So we've got these really cool murals on the station. There is an enormous amount of fresh graffiti. So graffiti that we haven't seen before, which is really cool. Now, Cal State has working elevators. When you want to call one, you have to sail right up next to it and hit the call button. But it's already here, so I won't need to do that. To get it to go somewhere, you have to go right up next to it and click. Clicking around the speaker tends to work. That looks like a little bit better on some of them. Some you have to really get into them. Which side are we up now? This side, of course. And where are we? Oh, yes, that's right. Come up here, and there's another elevator. It took me a little while to figure this one out. So if it's not here, call for it. And when it is here, see this one, you've got to get onto the buttons. And it always says call the elevator. Doesn't matter what you're doing with it. And if you tried to do it from over here, for example, you can't. I suppose it makes some sort of sense that you need to be near the buttons to press them. But you sort of have to be on top of them, which is a bit weird. There's another elevator here. We're going to get to call this one. There we go. So right up close to it, whack the button. And when it comes here, I think we can see it when it comes up, because it's a glass elevator, this one. Is it already here? No? There it is. Coming up now. So the door's open. It's a glass one. You can see out, which is kind of cool. And you've got to get really up close to this one. It's the worst of them. And we'll head down to the bottom level. Whee! We've got the anti-Californian brain cell mesh. Because, you know, some people don't have a lot of brain cells. And all you can do is come out here and that's it. So you've done all that effort just to come down and go somewhere where you can't go anywhere, which is kind of cool. But we do have these lovely bespoke assets. And if anybody complains that it rains in here, it's mesh. I did actually experience someone talking about that on the beta forum. It's quite interesting to get around these stairs. There's rather a lot of turns. Oh, I'm quite dizzy now. Anyway, hopefully you're not. We'll run back over to here. There is the bus stop down there with the metro buses. You can go down the stairs, of course, but we're going to go down in the elevator again. Not that I really know why I'm bothering to do this, because I'm just going to take you over to another station now. We're going to pop back over to LA Union just to see how populous it is. That's the inside. We want to go to the station, so we come back down here. Not going to bother with the elevator this time because it's straight down the stairs. And I came down here to see if there's a train, because if there was a train here, I'd ride the train, but there's not, so we're going to do it the easy way. Because there is some cool stuff to see along the line, and this section of it's got some very interesting things to look at as you come through the yards. Let's just zoom out a bit, and we're going to go round to our happy little friends here at LA Union. I do note that the fast travel spot for LA Union is not actually a San Bernardino. This is an Antelope Valley line platform. San Bernardino ones are over there. But that's okay. So in this station, if I go downstairs, there are ramps and stairs. If you plant things from other routes here, they sometimes get a little bit confused with those low platforms. So you may need to go around to the track side. Here's another route map. And what did I want to show you along here? There's the different branding. This is something I wanted to show you. We have branded ticket machines that have got quite nice stickers that are reasonably high res. You can actually read a lot of that. Now, interestingly, I worked for the company that made these machines back in the 2000s. That's why I was in America, I was putting these machines in the Bay Area. They're a similar one. If we come, I'm not sure if it's down here. This might be the end of the station, actually it is. There is a spot along here somewhere where there's some graffiti in one of the corridors, which is a nice fresh one. Oh, here's one here. So there, it's quite different, the graffiti. It's all very, very friendly stuff, as you can imagine, because this is a E for everyone game, so you're not going to find any abusive graffiti. There's some nice touches with decent posters. They are all DTG branded, of course, but that's okay. Other nice touches is things like water leaks and things around the place. And some quite different graffiti. So this is new stuff that we haven't seen before. Alrighty, that's about all I wanted to show you for San Bernardino. So, yeah, enjoy the route. It's quite good. Now, I think early days in the previews, people were a little bit skeptical, but it's actually quite good. It's got some nice features. There's none in LA Station. They keep this quite clean, but outside of this station, there's trash everywhere, like you'd expect along a railway. There's even big piles of boxes where the Amazon thieves have broken into the containers and pinched all the boxes out and just chucked stuff everywhere, because that's what they do. So, I reckon it's a winner. It's quite good. It's as engaging as a single line railway can be. If you like things like Bernina, if you like things like what's another single track branch line? West Somerset would be another example. If you in that kind of gameplay, you're going to like San Bernardino. If you liked Antelope, San Bernardino is a couple of notches up from a scenic perspective and an operations perspective, so I guarantee you'll like it. The fact that the freight's available from Cajon Pass is really good. If you've got Sherman Hill, you'll also see UP freight coming in here. You can't drive any of those. They're all AI because they're all very short. They only appear on the route for a couple of minutes, so it wouldn't be worth it. But, yeah, good fun. Alrighty, that's it for San Bernardino. So enjoy yourself. If this has been helpful with you, give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing. And if you've got any questions or comments, chuck them down below and I'll see what I can do to help you out. So see you later. Bye.
We played a game.